Hello, and welcome to our second video in the series that we have here for walking through how to fill out the WCBVI APH consumable and loan request form. If you watched the first video, you will have seen that we filled out the necessary information for our student. So we're going to pick up from there. But I'm going to go through it regardless, just in case you did not watch that. So it will be pre-filled out for you, so you won't have to go through this process again. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, this is a Microsoft form. This form is fully accessible to be used with a screen reader such as JAWS, NVDA, or any other assistive technology. As we said before, this form will not automatically collect your details, and you won't get a copy of the form. So if you are requesting a loan, you might want to keep your own records of that loan. So who is borrowing the equipment and such. So as before on the first page, it just has a simple explanation that says, "Thank you for contacting WCBVI AIM Center. Please proceed to the next section where you will be asked to submit some general information. Please note that this form is Family Educational Rights Privacy Act or FERPA compliant, so any personally identifiable information such as PII will be secure." So I'm going to go ahead and click next here. This is general information on this first section, and like I said, we filled it out already. We decided that the young person who was going to be borrowing this equipment was Luke Skywalker. So that's what's in the student name. We have the student school district or program is the second question. We right now have that listed as Tatooine High School. The student is registered as a current, on the current APH census. That's the yes on question 3. The student is registered on the current APH census. And the fourth question, a copy of the district-specific APH parental release of information, ROI FERPA form is on file at the district office. If that were not the case, by the way, we would click no here, and we would have to enter an explanation about why they're not on the registry and whether they would be eligible to be on the next registry, and things like that here. But I'm going to come back up here to the top, and I'm going to say yes, because those were the original questions, and that meets our purpose. So I'm going to click next. The requester information is already filled in as before, but I'm going to go through it. The requester name is Ben Kenobi, and the CSA or District LEA agency is the Planet of Tatooine, so that's the district. The requester preferred email is benkenobi@jediknights.org, and their preferred number and their preferred alternate number are both listed here as well from before. We assumed Jedi were early risers, so we said, please contact us in the morning. We can request AM or PM contact. So I'm going to click next. Shipping address for materials. We already, again, as before, have this information filled in as Tatooine High School. We want the name of the residence or LEA agency where that equipment is going to go. So if you didn't watch before the previous video, we really need to have like the building name, the high school, the LEA office, anything like that that's specific. Please include that here. The contact name, so that isn't necessarily your name. It could be the name of the student's primary teacher. It could be the LEA, a secretary, just somebody who's there whose name can be on the package, just so that they know who to give it to, because it's done through a delivery. Of course, we need to have the street address, which is 123 Jedi Way or whatever. City, state, and zip also, please. Please make sure this information is correct before you complete this form, because it will reduce the delays in any shipping and potentially keep it from being returned to us if the address is incorrect. And I'm going to click next. This is where it's going to be a little bit different. So as we said at the beginning, we're going to borrow a Brailler. So I'm interested in, and we're going to click borrowing equipment, and then we're going to click next. Are you requesting a Braille writer? And as before, please note Braille writers are not consumables and they must be returned when the student is no longer being served within the current school district. So that's the district that you've named here. So if Luke Skywalker, when he eventually moves to another planet, you know, not Alderaan, but somewhere else, when he moves to a different planet, then a new form will need to be completed for this Braille writer. So that Braille writer can reside with him as long as he is in this district. Once he changes, the Braille writer may not need to be sent back. It's something that you need to discuss with our AIM coordinators. But you will for sure need to have the district or have the new LEA fill out one of these forms. I just wanted to stop here and mention that. So do you want to borrow a Brailler? Well, yes, we do. So we're going to click yes, and then we're going to click next. Braillers. What type of Brailler are you requesting? And there's some options here. There's the standard Brailler, light touch, smart Brailler, unimanual Brailler, electric Brailler, large cell or jumbo Brailler. And select the one you want. I'm just going to do a standard and then click next. LEA information. And as we said, the LEA is the person that is guaranteeing the equipment. So this information is necessary. All items that are AT loan items, or actually this is it doesn't explicitly say Braillers, but Braillers as well, require the signature of your LEA. Upon submission of this form, you, the requester, will receive a link to a DocuSign form within 48 business hours. Once the requester has digitally signed the form, it will be forwarded to the LEA, whose contact information you provide here or below. Once complete, the document will be routed to the AT specialist or to the AIM coordinator, in this case, in the case of a Brailler, for processing. And this has a link to our AT page, which will become relevant in the next 2 videos on this playlist. So name of your LEA. So who is the LEA of Luke Skywalker? And I'm just not really sure who that would be. So I'm going to, although I said Yoda Green was his classroom teacher, we're going to assume that is the LEA here, guaranteeing the equipment as well. His phone number, 111-222-3456, just because we need one. And he needs an email address, yoda.green@unites.org. Give him the same one. And then next. Ready to submit. And your information has been collected. Please submit this form below. Again, and it bears repeating, you will not receive a copy of this form. So please make sure that you, once you hit submit, that you have recorded a copy. I'm going to really quick show you what the DocuSign form that you will receive will look like. So once the AT or this has been submitted, what will happen is the AIM coordinator will fill out paperwork for that Braille writer, and you, as the submitter or the requester, will receive a DocuSign link. And in that link, you will be able to view a form. And this is what the form is going to look like for you to fill out. And I'm just going to bring that up here. So you'll get a link in the email, and once you click that link, it'll say review, and it'll say message from, and right now it says me, but it'll be from the AIM coordinator. Greetings, WCBVI has received a request for a loan item. Please provide an electronic signature and other information as indicated so the form can be processed. And you'll click continue. And this DocuSign form, by the way, is also fully accessible. It can be used with a screen reader. You can fill that out very easily. I'm not going to fill it out here. I just want to show you what it looks like. So here's the start of the form, and this is what the form looks like. You can read the directions for yourself. I'm not going to go through it with you. So this information will be filled out by the LEA. This information here, the name of the teacher requesting equipment, is automatically filled in. Ship to, we want you to put the address in a second time. And the reason we want that is because we want to make absolutely sure that this is correct. City, state, zip, phone number for contact, equipment being requested, one per item. Like, so your Perkins Brailler is what you would put here. Name of student would be here. So Luke Skywalker would be here. Address where equipment is going to be used. That, I believe it was 123 Jedi Way or something like that. That's where it's going to be used, just where it's going to be used at. This location, is it a school? Is it a residence? Where else is it? And this information will already be filled in. The equipment that you requested will be listed here. The red tag number or the serial numbers, these are for our records. The value of equipment will be here. The date we completed the form is here, the date it will be shipped is here, and the date equipment is due back to WCBVI when the student leaves the school district. And it bears repeating, that's whether the student graduates or moves. So that's important. And when all of that information is filled out, you will click Finish, and that will indicate to us, it will automatically route it to the next person in the process, who is the LEA. And the only information that the LEA, which is in this case Yoda Green, will need to fill out is their title, their email, their phone number, their name. That's it. And they will need to sign down here, as will you. See, this is your signature here. And the date that's signed. This is today's date, by the way. So all of that. It's very simple, it's very easy, and it automatically routes. You can always reach out to whoever signed the form or sent the form to you by replying to the email. It will get to the person that sent you the email initially. So that information will route back to them. So any questions will go to the correct individual. I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, you can always reach out to AEM at wcbvi.k12.wi.us with any questions about borrowing braillers or other equipment. Thank you so much for viewing this video, and have a wonderful day.